AkronHipHop.com, the ReporterNewspaperOnline.com. There's always a season, and there's always a reason.
Absolutely.
But, you know, in any case, this is my brother Minister Stephen Muhammad, student
Greetings.
Minister Stephen Muhammad.
Greetings.
Hey, man, you know what's going on. We're in Akron, Ohio. We like to bring the situation specifically to this particular area and everything.
Yes, sir.
They banned our minister. Facebooklet and they IG. What you got to say about that first off?
No surprise. Our brother Ben X, many of you saw his posts on YouTube, and he was growing in popularity. The brother was doing his thing. He was reaching the young people. And that is when we knew eventually war would be waged on him to where they would silence his voice. Remember, in wartime, communication is the first thing that gets cut. We got to stop the communications from happening so we can destabilize and then destroy. Destabilize and then destroy. So when we saw what happened with our brother Nipsey Hussle, and this event brought attention back to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam. Hands down, no question about that. So what we knew would probably happen next is some kind of attempt to engage, redirect, and thwart the minister's connection with this young generation. All the gangs in LA, all of them put their rags down. They said the war is over. And their language was, quote unquote, tell Big Boss we heard him.
Okay.
Big Boss in this context is the Honorable Louis Farrakhan when he asked them at Nipsey's funeral services, memorial services, to please, the red and the black or the red and the blue, the sparrow that flew from California to, oh boy, I'm drawing a blank now.
It was somewhere down in El Paso. Was it El Paso?
It'll come to me before this is over.
Right.
When he was on his way to the memorial, he talked about how that sparrow appeared, and that was his sign to ask the brothers one last time, not just what happened in 1992 when we had the peace treaty, but attempts were made to break that peace. And now we see that when those young men who wanted to put the guns down and this is exactly what they said, we've been wanting to put the guns down. But they said there are forces that y'all don't see that's causing us to pick the weapons up again. Now we fast forward to Nipsey Hussle, and his attempt and his earnest desire to see the gangs put their weapons down. To the point where he put on jewelry, he put on his rings, he went to all the hoods where he had open enemies and told them that if killing me and robbing me will allow you to put the weapons down, I offer myself up right now for that cause. And they said, bro, we respect you. We're not gonna rob you, we're not gonna kill you. When he was murdered 2 weeks later, it resonated with them and they put the weapons down. Now we see that this attempt to stop the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's popularity from growing among those members who are already an army.
Good point, yes.
He said, I got an army that you see, that's the FOI.
He says that.
And I got one you don't see out in the street still, that's larger, much larger than the Fruit of Islam. That's how far-reaching the Honorable Louis Farrakhan's impact is. So we started NFA Studios, Never Fall Again Studios. Look that up, Google that name, NFA, and you can now show support directly to the Honorable Louis Farrakhan and those who are in alignment with him by signing on with NFA, excuse me. That's what we're asking people to do as an answer to YouTube, to Facebook.
He's not blocked on YouTube though, right?
No, not
just
yet.
Instagram, but you foreshadow that. You can see it coming down the line.
Well, again, they were the first ones that moved on Brother Ben X.
They did, okay.
All Brother Ben was doing was showcasing Farrakhan's videos.
You're right.
So we know that these attempts, they look like they are not connected, but they absolutely are. Phone calls are made.
Do the math, right.
That's right. So we can't ask your open enemy who, again, communication is something that is a general fact when you are at war. I have to be able to communicate with my peers, my soldiers, those who are in alignment with me, so we can be moving at the same rate. If that's destabilized, then your chances of success fall dramatically. So what we see happening now when the gangbangers say we're not going to bang anymore, And they still have weapons that they got from the open enemy to use on each other. The fear is, what will they do now that they're awakening in consciousness and awakening in morality?
Good point.
We're not thinking about going to war with white folks. That's not our motive at all.
Right.
But Pharaoh said, let us deal wisely with them, lest they remember the evil that we did, join on to an enemy of ours, and come against us. So Pharaoh has a fear that somebody, and it's always the male, because the male is the one who's going to exact revenge for what you did to my father, my mother, and my babies. That's the male's job. Any other culture, that would be a definite concern. But with us, our brothers, man, have become enemies of themselves. But now that they're not on that particular thought pattern anymore, the fear is they're going to turn that attention towards the open enemy. All we want to do, brother, for the record, is secure our neighborhoods, right? And make sure our women and children are safe. That's all we want to do.
Well, man, you know, the good part is sometimes we have to keep focused.
Yes, sir.
I saw, and I'm going to say this, and you already know, the nation wasn't built on Instagram or the Facebooklet.
Yes,
okay,
sir.
We understand ear to ear, mouth to mouth, chest to chest. We know how to get this thing across. But this is, speaking of ear to ear, mouth to mouth, chest to chest, the best way to show your support is the study meetings, study group meetings, the Sunday meetings. Tell somebody about those, bro.
1341 Copley Road. That's our current location, right in the heart of the West Side. Sundays at 11 o'clock is the main meeting. And then Wednesdays at 8 o'clock, we have a class. Friday night, which is today, study group, that's usually at 7:30. And so those are the primary days. But for anybody that wants to support, you know, unless the enemy thinks they can knock out all of our Facebook accounts, right, then they just can't stop. Minister Farrakhan always said, you ain't got a weapon, a gun big enough to kill me, because you can't kill everybody who is thinking in the same vein that truth now is reaching, far-reaching, all four corners of the earth, man. So we've already won. All we got to do is stay together, stay unified, stay sane, and then want for your brother what you want for yourself.
Hey, man, I appreciate you taking the time on your busy schedule.
My pleasure,
to rock with the Brothers of the New.
Yes, sir.
Have some fun and get something done. Y'all better film me before they kill me, y'all. Peace.